Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are doubling back long run this morning in the Puma. I was gonna say Deviate Nitro Elite 3 because I'm so used to saying that, but this is the Puma FAST R3, also known as the Crack R3. Now, if you're looking for a new race shoe, a new Carbon County race shoe, make sure to check out the Supwell app. Supwell app is my app. It's the best place to find deals on carbon plated race shoes and training shoes. And what else? You can find great deals on gear. I don't know if people know that. We also have a gear marketplace. I see awesome deals on singlets, shorts, a bunch of other stuff coming up all the time. It's also the best hobby jogger community out there. We got a great group of people working, getting better daily, and we are running our community challenge right now. So if you want to sign up, here's a pro tip. Don't sign up using the regular link. Sign up using the community challenge link, which is $30. You get the shirt, you get the stickers, you get the community, you get access to everything included in that. So now is a great time to join. You'll also get workouts each week that I'm programming, and that'll take you through to June. So if you want to get fit before the summer, community challenge. If you want to get fit before your fall training, community challenge. If you want to run some dang hills and have fun, community challenge. Sign up is in the description below. Enjoy today's video. Oh, nice. Empty. Man, I honestly don't know how I get up at this time consistently. Because every time I get up at this time, I'm consistently feeling tired. But that's the thing. Once you're up, you're up. There's no going back. But yeah, this morning we got the long run going. That's why I'm up at, oh gosh, it's 4:39 only. That's why I'm up at 4:39 right now. We're going to get the long run 20 burger in the new Fast R3. Ran it a few days ago. So good, man. So good. But I was ripping. So this morning I'm slow the paces down a touch. Do some mile repeats at a slower pace. And see how it does. It's going to be fun. This coffee smells so good. I just ordered a bunch of new coffee, but if you want to try something different, something funky, something tropical fruity, this is what we have. It's black and white coffee roasters. It's a blend, but it's a pina colada blend. And they say tropical and summery, it transports you to an oceanside tiki bar. There's a lot of funk here. There's a lot of bright fruit, but it's pretty fire. So look at that. One of the tasting notes is Jamaican rum. They say coconut cream, pineapple, key lime, and Jamaican rum. That's the funkiness they're telling you about. Bang. Another week, another not burnt toast. By the way, music this morning, you might be surprised at this, but the Wiz Khalifa album, Cushion Orange Juice 2, it is fire. I'm listening to the Wiz and Currency song at the moment, which of course I'll listen to it because it has Currency, but the whole thing is fire. Quite honestly, might be my biggest surprise of 2025. Shoes or music. Just straight heat all the way through. So Wiz is back. Alright, I'm going to open this thing up. You know what I hate? You know what's worse than a brickish running shoe? Maybe not worse, but Tide wet peanut butter. Look at this. Look how wet and loose it is at the top. It means I have to open this thing, mix it all up, but the oil's going to spill down the sides. And then once it's on the toast, after I've put the peanut butter on and slathered it, it's going to be dripping down the sides and everything. That's why you need palm oil. I know a lot of people are against palm oil, but what palm oil does is it thickens it and it makes it so that it's not so wet and you don't need this stir situation. So, man, this just triggers me. Anytime I see this, I know I'm in for a big project. And usually when I'm eating breakfast, I don't want a project. But with the Trader Joe's peanut butter, you can guarantee that there's a project. It's like the worst advertisement of all time for these. Shout out Justin's peanut butter. I don't have nightmares about that. I have nightmares about using this peanut butter. All right, breakfast time. Bang, look at that. Spreading some wet peanut butter with no drippage, that might be harder than running a sub-3 marathon. We did it. Look at that. And then I'm going to top it with this thing, Kleinbein honey. This is that local raw honey, not government inspected. And you know what? This is from the same place we went last year where Charlie told me I can only get one honey. I almost just bought a bunch of honeys this time just because I could, but I didn't. I still got one honey. This is fire. And the reason I'm going peanut butter and honey today, usually I'll do butter and jam on the sourdough bread. Reason I'm going peanut butter honey is because our fridge is still out of commission, so I have to do shelf stable foods only, because all the food, we do have another fridge. Luckily in this house, the last owner left this fridge. It's super old. It's kind of gross. All our food is in there. It's in the garage or the storage area behind the cars, but I have to walk outside, and I'm not walking outside at 4:30, so I planned ahead. And we have shelf-stable breakfast here. Bang. All right, so this is what we are running in this morning, Puma FAST R3. This is quite literally the latest and the greatest. It's the latest to release. It's not the latest to be announced. This has now been surpassed in the hype cycle by the ASICS Metaspeed Edge Tokyo, Sky Tokyo, and Ray. So ASICS on Friday released information on 3 new race shoes, which look incredible. They're using dual foam, new compound called FF Leap. And I like what they've done with the new Edge and the Sky, by the way. They flipped the foam. So the new FF Leap, that's going to be a super soft compound from what I've seen. And on the Sky Paris, they have it, they have it on the bottom layer of the Sky, or the Sky Tokyo, and then on the Edge, they have it on the top. That's a cool idea. And then the Ray is 100% of the soft foam. So we haven't seen dual foam work really well in a popular racing shoe yet. Mizuno's done it in the Wave Rebellion Pro 2. Saucony's done it in the Endorphin Pro 4. But in the Endorphin Pro 4, it was more of a footnote to the construction of that shoe versus a main feature. And in the new Edge and Sky, it looks like it's going to be a banger. But regardless, this is what we have today. This is a shoe that is available on the market to buy right now, if you can get any availability. I don't even know if I don't think it's on Running Warehouse anymore. I think they sold out immediately. But Fast R3. You get the aggressive carbon fiber plate here. You get the bifurcated or split heel and forefoot. It cuts off aggressively in the back. And I love this thing on the first run. I ran it first time 2 days ago on Friday. I did a repeats workout, so 4x200 meters, 6x400 meters, and 4x200 meters. I hit that first set of 200s as hard as I could, faster than I've ever been. Hit 400s in my life, or 200s in my life. I was going a 350 something pace for some of those. So extremely fast shoe. It felt like a weapon. Lots of speed assistance. I'm doubling back on it today for the long run for a few reasons. First, it's new. I'm excited about it. It looks awesome. It's cool. It's shiny. It's fresh. The other reason is because I want to see how it does for the long run. My main question walking away from Friday was, how will this feel for a full marathon? And I got some feedback. My friend Midlife Runner, I actually forgot he ran the Boston Marathon in this, where he got his sub-3. So he was in it for 3 hours. Grant actually ran in his pair yesterday, and he said it wasn't that bad for the relaxed paces.
something about the shoe on Friday for my relaxed paces, it just felt horrible. Now, I was coming into that workout fairly beat up. On Thursday, I did hill sprints and a 23-mile day. The previous 2 days I was traveling, so I was trying to make up the mileage, and then I hit that workout super hard. So I was feeling beat up. And also, my other thing with the shoe is, does it need some time to break in? Because I did not like the other version, the other Puma race shoe at first, the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. I felt it was too firm. So I'm hoping with the 9 miles that I put on this on Friday, I did a 13-mile total workout that morning, but I switched into the Aero Goat for the cool down. So with the 9 miles we put on this, on Friday, will the foam have softened up? Also, with me maybe not feeling as beat up this morning, will it feel better for my relaxed paces? And then just how is it going to feel once we're out there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours? Now, ride of this on the first run, the way that I would describe it is this pulling forward sensation. There wasn't a lot of bounce in the foam. There wasn't a lot of snap from the plate. It was really this magnetic or gravitational pull forward with this plate. It is so propulsive, and the more power I put down, the more I was getting pulled forward. And they accomplished that with the super aggressive rocker and how they have this plate on the lip here. So it's a really cool idea what they've done. They nailed the construction of it. It is also extremely lightweight. You get a lot of cushion up here in the front. Let me grab the calipers. Oh, they're right here. Look at that. So lots of stack up here in the front. Dang near 35 if we're taking the plate and the rubber and everything that your foot is sitting on top of. So a ton of foam up here in the front. But the weight is under 200 grams. This is 190 grams in my size 10.5, which is the same thing as the A6 Metaspeed Sky. And then the heel, it's actually not terribly narrow back here. It is narrow, but that's not really the main issue. So 85 millimeters. If we take a look at where's the A6? So this is the Sky. Which guy? This guy. 74. So it's 10 millimeters wider than this Metaspeed. What it is not, though, is supportive in the back, because if you look at where your heel is right here, it's just completely cut out. That's going to save some weight in the back versus the Sky Paris. At least you're getting the jut of the cushion. So you have more underneath the heel here, but less side to side. That's the opposite. It's a wider base in the Fast R3, but there's less hanging off the back. So that's how they've achieved the lightweight. And then we have the Nitro Elite Foam Aliphatic TPU. In the other version of this shoe, the Deviate, it gets better with some miles. I'm not sure if it's the same exact compound or not, but what I do know is you got to break it in. So I'm hoping this morning, being out there for 20 miles, we can break it in. I have a threshold workout, so I'm also hoping that at those paces, this thing feels good, because my main question was, dude, it felt great at the fast paces, terrible at my warm-up paces. How's it going to feel for that middle zone? So it's 6:03. I'm going to get my gear, my nutrition, and then we can get on the road. Bada boom, bada bang, bada gear. This is my gear today. You already know. Let's start with the socks. Going feature socks. These are OG. I don't really like wearing anything else. Testing a new singlet this morning. It doesn't quite match with my shoes, which, by the way, people in the first video I did, there was a whole thread in the comments about how this colorway was America's fault. I didn't really understand it. People looking to blame America for all sorts of things. I like this colorway, but it doesn't particularly scream America to me. But people who didn't like it were saying that this colorway was America's fault. So it reminded me of those "Thanks Obama" memes. I guess thanks America for this colorway. I think it's beautiful. If anything, it reminds me of the Latin American influenced South Miami Nights, which that is part of America too, but I would say there's more global influences on this particular colorway. But I guess if you don't like it, you could blame it on America. So let's see. This thing, CLA, this is what I'm going for. I've been testing a lot of singlets, so I usually like running shirtless when it gets warm, but this year I'm going singlets. I'm testing singlets. So this is one that I've had sitting around for a while. I actually got it from Running Warehouse last year, and I haven't tried it yet. So I'm going to see how it compares to the Asics and the Soar. And then shorts. These are the Soar shorts. I think there's a zipper pocket in the back. Yeah, that's my number one thing that I look for with these long run shorts. Zipper pocket in the back. And look at that. I accidentally left a gel in there. And that's what I'm going this morning as well. We're going Torque apple crumble, Torque rhubarb custard, and then the Morton caffeinated. Dude, last week I took the Torque caffeinated one, the Banoffee, and I was just on one for 4 hours after that. And sometimes I'll even do 2 caffeinated gels. I don't know what it was about that last week, so I'm staying away from that. I'm not trying to be on one this morning. I'm just going 1 caffeinated gel. Hopefully I'm not tripping out there. So there we go. And then white hobby jogger hat. Yeah, I just want some plain singlets, some white, navy, gray. This is burnt orange. You've got to pick a very specific shoe that will match it, because this does not match. This is like Tucson. This is like the rural counties of Arizona, and then mixed with Miami. This is like Sheriff Joe trying to go clubbing in Little Havana. I know that went over a lot of people's heads. All right, I'm going to get my clothes on and we can get out of here. Lacing these bad boys up. And let me tell you, these boys are bad. Yes, a weird experience stepping in here because there's not a lot underneath the heel. It's not a very substantial platform back there. Really want you leaning toward the front. But great upper. Super lightweight. You may want to switch out, put some different laces on these. They actually might have come with different laces. Yes, they did. These, they match the blue. But I had no issues with them untying, so I'm going to keep it crispy white. David Duke upper with the South Beach midsole. Alright, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here before I get into any more trouble with the cultural references. When I was leaving, Reevesy asked me what I was doing, and I said, going on my run. And he asked me why. And I said, I don't know. It's just what I do. It's colder out here than I thought. I could have done a t-shirt today. It's also wet. It was storming last night. And I know we've had questions about how the grip is going to be on these guys. It's not sticking like the other stuff does, but this is decent. Yeah, it's definitely not as sticky as when you have the textured stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be slipping out here. Alright, I'm gonna need to warm up. It actually is chilly. Man, I was not expecting this. I am freezing. It feels like it's in the low 50s. This is PR weather. I'm not trying to run a PR this morning though. Just trying to get my miles in. At slower paces in these, just feels like my forefoot is taking a beating. Like I'm not using them correctly. They just do not feel good.
I'm trying to figure out how to work with them. Man, almost at mile 1 here. Last night I was thinking about using the Endorphin Elite 2 for my run today. Kind of regretting it. I wish I were in something softer and more comfortable. These shoes just kick my butt. I just don't get along with them at these relaxed spaces. They're so aggressive. It's like that plate up in the forefoot. It just needs me to hit it in a certain way or it punishes me. Yeah, mile 1, 8:20. I'm moving terribly right now. This is gonna be survival mode this morning. I can feel it. I can feel it. Survival. Man, don't let people gaslight you into thinking these are good for slow paces. They're not. Sometimes I need to just believe myself. These are terrible for jogging. This is the least comfortable marathon shoe. It's so bad. That's why I'm just taking a beating in them. It's not good. Jogging in these is like a medieval torture device. It's terrible. I'm going home to use the bathroom. I kind of want to change into the Endorphin Elite 2. No one will know. I can just start the video over. I'm only 2.5 miles in. I'll just go 20 in those. Count this 2 as a warm-up. Man, these are harsh. This is how I felt with the Fast R2 as well. It's like at my jogging paces, I just can't activate the foam. And something about the plate geometry and the heel just makes it particularly painful. It's low light, so it's probably been blurry and shaky. I'm gonna leave it because that's how it feels to run in these. It's nauseating. Throwing some strides in here, I'm trying to loosen up. I feel so tight. It's a mean combination, the tightness in these shoes. Foam is a lot better once I start jogging in it or running in it, not jogging. That's where I'm really getting the bounce. Below 6. I think that's the tipping point for me right now. Below 6 minutes per mile. So goal workout I'm wearing on paper this morning. Dude, I can barely talk. Goal workout this morning, 4x200, 4x1 mile, and 4x200. So 4x200s right now. Warm up the legs, get them spinning. 4x mile at threshold. That's the tofu. And then we're gonna close it out to get that turnover with 4x200. Let's give this a shot. Hopefully my running's better than my talking. So first two, I was really focusing on being smooth and efficient, opening up the stride all the way. Next two, I'm gonna focus on quick feet because my stride length, it naturally opens up as I get faster. I don't always have the snap off the ground. More often than not, I'm driving through the midfoot. So last two, focus on quick feet, pairing that with the longer stride length. All right, first set of 200s down. Not as fast as Friday, but it can't be fast every day. I hit the last two at 4:26, 4:18 pace, so right around 30 seconds a piece. My legs aren't snapping off the ground as quick as Friday, but I've done a lot of work in the past week. I did a workout Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then today. So that's 5 out of the last 8 days. That's a lot. I'm gonna take this GoPro's dying. Okay. Man, it is cold but humid. GoPro battery died, so ran the last half or so of that run. Just RD. Just raw dog, no GoPro or anything. Those are the gels. We finished. Man, some days it's sicko mode. Other days it is survival mode. Why do I have a New York Times? Okay, good. Wall Street Journal. I guess they just put it in the New York Times bag. Yeah, that was just pure survival. But guess what? Life is survival by definition. Living is surviving. And it wasn't painful or anything in the back half. I was just clipping off 8:30s. But that's the thing with the way I'm training right now. Stacking a lot of mileage, focusing on shorter, faster workouts. It's not all going to be pretty. It really is not. Yeah, that run matched the grayness of the sky. We do have some blue peeking out. Wasn't a whole lot of blue out there, though. All right. Let's close this thing out here. That was very relaxed. Oh, man, I thought I was going to see an 8. No, 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 32 minutes. Just about 20 miles, 12 hundredths. Average 7:34 pace. I hit the working portion of those pretty hard. I just did not have the same juice, but that's my 5th workout in the past 8 days. That's what I was saying out there when the camera died, because last Sunday I did mile repeats in the long run. I was hitting those in the low 5s with a lot of recovery between. I did two 2-mile recoveries between, so essentially 100% recovery. Then Tuesday I did 400-meter repeats again with long recoveries, 400s on, 3/4 of a mile off at about, I think at exactly 5 flat. I just cranked the treadmill up. Then I was traveling Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday came back, did the community challenge workout, which was hill sprints, and hit a 23-mile day to make up the volume that I missed from traveling. Friday I did my other 5K workout. So that was 200s and 400s. Hit that one hard. in these, and I was blasting those 400s. That's not like a 440 pace. And then today we had the second 5K workout of the week. This was 200s at that 440, 450 pace and threshold miles. So that's a lot of work in a week. And here's the thing, I could look at this run in isolation, look at my mile splits for the threshold miles and say, that wasn't that great. That wasn't that impressive. And it was not. So let's look at this. Laps. I really don't like that the delete is right next to the laps, but I went, where did we start these? Oh, those are the strides and then the 200s, but I went 530, 528, 530, 529. So dead on, just so consistent. And I wanted to go 524 or faster on these, so I was 5 to 6 seconds per mile slower. But again, we can look at it that way, or we could look at it as, man, that was a lot of work within the last week. I've never been running workouts this hard, and I was still able to match my threshold pace, which I've been running for the past few months. Not every workout's going to be a breakthrough. Not every workout is going to be a step ahead. And this is a framework that I learned recently, just a mindset shift. It's better. I forgot the author of this book, but it was in one of the ultra marathon training books I read recently. And no, I'm not training for an ultra. I just like reading a variety of running books. But he was saying, traditionally, the way that we periodize or stack, progress workouts and training blocks is at the beginning of a mesocycle. So at the beginning of, let's say, a 3-week period of training, we run our easiest workouts of that mini block right there. And then at the end of the 3-week workout, we build up and we run our hardest. He was saying it should be flipped, because at the beginning of that block, we're freshest. And 3 weeks into that block, right before our down week, that's when we're the most fatigued. And that was really a mindset shift to me of, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. Right, my legs are fatigued this morning. I ran a great workout Friday. I ran another great workout last Sunday. This probably should be my worst workout of the past week, because I have all that mustard in my legs. So that's the way to think about it, right? And I'm trying to do a better job as well, periodizing my own training and fine-tuning how I stack and progress these blocks. So having a workout like this morning where it's not an all-out banger fest shredding 5:05 miles, shredding 5-minute flat pace miles like I was a few weeks ago in the Streak Fly, that's okay, because I'm now towards the middle or the end of this 3-week cycle, and I'm still able to hold on to a solid pace, which is good. And some days, solid is all we need. That is all we need to get better. So Fast R3, man. Whew. And look at this. The Puma, black Puma, completely rubbed off on the bottom. That's crazy. And I'm also just chewing up this foam back here. This is just not, I don't, yeah, don't let anybody gaslight you into thinking this is a comfortable shoe, man. This is just not a comfortable shoe. It reminds me some of the Nova Blast and Super Blast with that disconnected forefoot midfoot feeling, or heel forefoot feeling. And what I was really noticing at my relaxed paces, and even at my threshold pace, 530 per mile, was that right where this foam is missing, that's where I want it. I want more compression ability here. I want more impact absorption in the midfoot, because a lot of the time I am driving through the midfoot at my marathon and threshold paces. So I still think, even for me, I'm going to want something, or want to run paces faster than threshold to optimize this thing. It needs to be below 530 per mile, because, yeah, this is just an aggressive shoe. And even in the front here, look at that. From the toe off at those faster paces, we're tearing the paint off. So probably not going to be the most durable shoe. Let's see. Foam doesn't feel like it's breaking in all that much, but we got through it. We survived, right? Oh, the camera's going down. Quick gear review, by the way. Socks, of course, were great. The
sore shorts. The performance is great, but again, I've been having issues finding the right gel situation with these shorts. Last week with the CLA shorts, I was fumbling around with the inside pockets. This time with the outside pocket, the zipper wasn't that great. And then let's see. Boom, CLA singlet. This was solid, no chafing. It does fit big. It's a medium and it feels slightly baggy on me, but good performance. And then of course the hat, banger.
Cushion OJ2. Very underrated. Wiz Khalifa might be the most disrespected artist of our generation. I was thinking about this out there. Maybe it was mile 13 or 14, but I don't know if people know, especially the younger generation, kids these days, and even some of us who are millennials, might not remember how big Wiz was in his prime. 2011 to 13, maybe even before that. He was bigger than Cardi is right now. And the thing is with Cardi is big and he has this feverish bass, but there's not a lot of crossover appeal. With Wiz, songs like Black and Yellow, See You Again, Work Hard, Play Hard, they were massive. They were pop hits. He was one of the biggest stars in the world, rivaling maybe even a Drake in numbers, in adoration, in global fans. And then he slowly faded out of the mainstream and now is doing his own thing and drops quality music here and there. But most disrespected artists of our generation, Wiz Khalifa. I used to have a laptop cover. I don't know if anyone remembers this. You could make these custom laptop covers in high school, and it was a picture of Wiz. Wiz rocking out on stage. So he used to be one of my favorites. So it's fire that he's now back dropping bangers with Cushion OJ2, because I haven't really been checking for him over the past few years. I've dabbled in some of his albums and I'll skip through, but nothing has stuck. But he'll pop up on the Larry June, he'll pop up on the Currency, and I'll say, man, he could still drop some good verses here and there, but solid. The top to bottom, Cushion OJ2, I've enjoyed it. I've listened through it maybe 4 or 5 times now. It keeps getting better. It's just easy listening. Nice and enjoyable. Very similar to a Sunday aerobic base building cruise. And here's the thing. This is what I was thinking about with this run. It felt so inconsequential. Because I've had a lot of good workouts recently. Fast mile repeats, hitting my fastest times ever, feeling like I'm making breakthroughs at these speed paces, which I have not emphasized and focused on. And with training, we cycle up and we cycle down with different paces. For a long time, I was focused purely on mileage. Now that I've adapted to running the higher mileage, I can work in very fast speed, which is what I'm doing. But this run just felt like a nothing burger. Wasn't my fastest 200s, wasn't my fastest mile repeats. But the fact that this 20-mile run felt like that is a testament to what putting in the consistent work does. I run 20 miles every weekend. Every Sunday I run a 20-mile long run. So some of these, they do feel inconsequential, and I am just jogging out at 8:30 pace, feeling like it's for no reason. But putting in the consistent aerobic mileage like this makes it so that when I'm holding the third 5 flat mile in a mile repeat workout like I did a few weeks ago, I can still hang on to that pace. That is what the high base does. It doesn't mean I'm hammering all my miles at a 6:20 pace. It means when I am working hard, I can work hard for longer and I can recover quicker. So I'm doing some unconventional training at the moment. I've been talking a lot about polarized training. It's not sexy. I'm not going to put it on a shirt. I'm not going to put it on a hat. I should probably come up with a better way to talk about it, because it just sounds super boring. That's 5 syllables. Polarized training. But easy days easy is how some people say it. Easy days easy, hard days hard. Hammer when it's hammer time, and chillax when it's chillaxing time is the best way to think about it. And what that could mean is running 350 pace sprints and 350 pace 200s in the morning, and then running 9-minute miles in the afternoon. So very fast paces and slow, relaxed aerobic mileage. And with the relaxed aerobic mileage, throwing any sort of pace target out the window. And this run, let's throw it up, was a great example of that because, again, I wasn't hitting my fastest paces, and not every workout needs to be. We have to have a clock in, clock out mentality sometimes, and that's what it was this morning. Punch the clock. All right, it's time to go. Hit those 200s right where the textbook says I need to be for the fitness level I'm trying to grab, trying to steal some fitness. And today I wasn't stealing fitness, I was working for my fitness, but run them right on the dot, right around 31 to 34 seconds. Anywhere in there, if I do that consistently, will help me build. And then same thing with the threshold workout. And guess what? Running those threshold mile repeats 5 seconds per mile slower, I'm going to get the same fitness adaptation at a 5:29 pace as I am at a 5:24 pace. And what's better and even more important than any mileage target or pace target here is being able to do that on the tired legs. And again, that's what we have to think about. Run the 5:29 on the tired legs versus the 5:24 on the fresh legs. Which one is better? The 5:29 on the tired legs. The body remembers effort, and the cumulative fatigue that I'm stacking is definitely catching up with me. And I'm going to take a few days of recovery before my next hard workout. But it just goes to show with the consistent mileage and the consistent hammering of these paces, it does get easier. So for the workout portion of this run, these were great. Again, this is a very fast shoe. I knew that from the first run. And anytime where I'm driving through the forefoot here, it is just so explosive. And the more power that I put down through the front, the better that it feels. This feels just dialed in for me. Anything below 510, 520 is where this shines for me. I think going slower than that, even the threshold workout, is where I start questioning, would having more cushion in this make this a better shoe? It just feels so compromised and so specialized. And the reason why I wanted to pull for it again today so quickly after that run, well, like I said in the office earlier, it's just the newest shoe. It's exciting. I'm excited to run in it. It put a smile on my face the first time, and it did help me hit those splits. I think if I was in the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, I probably would have been running 540 on those mile repeats or slower because it's just hard for me to get it going sometimes. So it is easy to get it going in these. I'm not fighting against the foam at all. It's super quick to get up. It's just with my style of running, I was wishing at times there was just more in the midfoot for me to land and push off. It is an odd feeling to just have the plate down here and nothing below. And I could notice the disjointed character when running anything slower than a 5 flat. So for me, that means 5K pace and faster. This thing is amazing. Now, my second question that I wanted to answer from the first run review was, how is this going to do for the time on feet? So there's the two distinct portions of analyzing where this shoe is best. There's first, how does it feel with the different mechanics at those paces? So my mechanics at a mile race pace are going to be a lot different than my mechanics at a marathon pace. And that's true for everyone, but to different extents. For me, it is very noticeable. It feels like two different sports, two completely different things. And if you look at the body types of sprinters versus the body types of marathoners, they quite frankly are two different types of athletes, and they are two different sports. The body of a sprinter is more like that of a lifter, closer to an NFL running back, than the body of a marathoner, which is closer to a gymnast or a ballerina, right? Marathoners want to be light, trim, slim. It's all about efficiency for time on feet. And sprinters, you want to be big, strong, and powerful. So this is why I'm also doing the type of training that I am, this running specific strength training. That's what it is. And that's one of the reasons why I program the hill sprint workouts in the Run Some Dang Hills Challenge week 1. Make sure you sign up. It's because a lot of us hobby joggers are not doing that. Even if we are hitting the gym, a lot of us aren't doing the running specific strength training. It's like a hard gym session. Coming out here, running hard 200s or running hard sprints, incorporating maximal effort or near maximal effort strides, it is a different beast, man. And same thing with long hill climbs. That's a different beast too. I remember when I did my 50K Ultra in December, climbing a 1.5, 2 mile hill, I said, gosh dang, This is not running. I don't know what this is. This is not running. Talk about survival mode, right? That's survival mode. Different than anything I've done for the Chicago Marathon or any other race I've done. So it's surprising sometimes because the hat says hobby jogger. We think running is running, mileage is mileage, but there's so many different types of running and so many different skills we need to build. So the skill of speed is enabled by strength. And that's the reason I've been hammering on this faster mile race pace stuff. So at those speeds, this feels good. When my mechanics are more so driving and snapping my feet off the ground super quickly, this thing feels amazing because you get a lot of cushion up here in the front. And then when I'm in the relaxed mechanics, not so good. That's where I'm getting that disjointed feel. Of course, this is not a relaxed mileage shoe. Puma has the MagMax, the Velocity Nitro, the Deviate Nitro, even their other race shoe, Deviate Nitro Elite 3. But the second question is the time on feet aspect. So 2.5 hours this morning. This is not going to be bottoming out. It didn't bottom out at all. The cushion holds up really well. This is a quality foam. It's just what they've done with the geometry here. It's not like the Under Armour Velocity Elite 2 or even the Asics FF Turbo Plus, where at slower paces I feel I'm not activating the foam. The foam itself feels fine at the slower paces, and it's very similar to the Deviate Nitro Elite 3. It's just the placement of it for me, the geometry of it means for my mechanics at an 8:30 pace or even a 7 flat pace, it's just a super weird feeling. And having to run with the mechanics that accommodate this geometry, translation, having to change what I normally do to work with the shoe is not a fun thing for a 2.5 hour relax run. So once I got to 12 miles, actually, if we throw up this run, you could see I finished the workout at mile 12. This was a 5K workout. I'm pulling some workouts from different parts of the Daniels book. This was a Jack Daniels workout that I got from 5K training, 4x200, 4 by a mile, 4x200. I did that in the front half of the run. The last half, or the last 8 miles, that was just to get my mileage. And this is what I'm saying about the unconventional training I'm doing. I'm just combining these shorter distance workouts with my mileage. A lot of the times people training for a 5K will cut the mileage to 70 miles per week. I don't want to do that because I still have a lot of aerobic development to do. And the 8 miles at the end here, that's just additional volume. Doesn't matter how fast I run it. But for the last 8 miles, it's just, man, this is not what I want to have on my feet. So this is the same thing that I felt after the first run. My initial thoughts on it were confirmed. This is not a chill shoe. This is not going to be the shoe I recommend for a 3:30 marathon, 4-hour marathon. And some people out there have said that it feels fine for their 8, 9, 10 minute paces. But for me, there's just better options on the market. And I know it looks cool. This is the latest and greatest thing. So I understand everyone's going to want to buy it, but man, it's just really aggressive. So to me, this is not the mass market, mass appeal shoe. This is not the shoe that I think is going to work the best for most runners. Again, I told you earlier, I go 20 miles every week. And over the last, I want to say 3 months, I've switched over into exclusively doing these long runs in carbon plated shoes. I didn't even do that intentionally, but it's just the most fun. It gives me the most speed assistance, the most benefit, and that's what these shoes are designed to do. They're marathon shoes, so they're designed to go 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So I've tested a lot of these shoes, and there are some really great options for long runs in this segment. Tracksmith Elliott Racer, On Cloud Boom Strike, Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, Nike Alpha Fly 3, even the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2. There's just a lot of fun cushioned options that still give the fast feeling. Asics Metaspeed Edge Paris would be the one that is more comfort oriented and tuned more for a relaxed foot strike versus the Sky Paris. There's a lot of good options in this carbon plated Carbon County race segment that are more comfortable for me. So if I'm doing another 20-mile long run like this morning where I know I have some faster paces and then a lot of relaxed miles, this isn't the one that I would pull for. Alpha Fly 3 is in Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Those are still my top 2 for that. Those ones feel that they have the most range. So this is more of a narrow, specialized tool, narrow use case type of shoe. Deviate Nitro Elite 3, that's still going to be the better buy for most people. So complete banger for speed. It definitely gave me some help this morning. I was hitting paces I wouldn't have otherwise hit in a lot of shoes. And sometimes that can be the extra horsepower we're getting from the shoe. And sometimes it can also be, hey, just because I have this aggressive shoe on, I'm going to work that much harder to make it hit my splits, which was what we did this morning. So completely inconsequential, average run, mediocre workout. But guess what? We clocked in, we clocked out, and that's all you need. This is the work, baby. I think that's all I have for you today. Let me check. I took notes. I wanted to make sure we got everything. I'm tired. I need another coffee. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you. Make sure you're signed up for the Run Some Dang Hills Challenge. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Oh man, this is just survival. Yeah, all these workouts have, gosh dang. I feel like I got hit by a bus. See how quick I can recover. The other thing I was thinking about though is with the GoPro. I didn't charge it. That's on me. But these are the things sometimes with going every day, some things slip. But if I tried to make things perfect, there wouldn't be anything. The only reason I'm able to do it is by doing it imperfectly, which means I make mistakes sometimes. There's no such thing as perfect training. There's no such thing as perfect anything. All we can do is our best. This is my platitude for the day. This is part 1 of my refuel. I signed off, but I did want to show you because it looks fire. And look at these. The strawberries are just so good. We went strawberry picking yesterday. Shout out to Hall Family Farm. It's across the border in South Carolina. But I also had a question. I was thinking, this was one of the things I was thinking as I was jogging back, but no matter how fast I'm going or what the numbers are, it always feels like it's just never enough. Like I want to get to the next thing, which is a dangerous mindset because it means it's really hard to be content. And that's the downside of it. But the positive is it just keeps me driving forward. So I guess my question is, how do you balance those two things? Being happy with where we are and not wishing our lives away. And it's not even trying to get to the next thing faster, but it's, man, I'm here now, so this is normal and I want to be there. Yeah, how do you balance those things? They're always in tension, right? Contentment and striving, wanting to be better and accepting where we are and appreciating the moment. People say live in the moment. Dude, it's gosh dang hard. It's one of the reasons why I'm always working, trying to get to the next moment, make the next moment bigger and better. But with running and with life, it takes time sometimes. So that's my question. If you made it this far, how do you balance that? It's hard. I don't have the answers.